Buhari signs Petroleum Industry Bill 2021 into law. With permission of Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, installation work to complete Cross River Pharmaceutical Factory in top shape. Plus, Calabar residents appeal for enactment of sanitation laws to inhibit indiscriminate dumping of refuse in drains, just as rainy season approaches its peak. Details in just a moment. Good evening. Welcome to the news at 7. I am Erika Ivy. I'm very glad to have you on this platform. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the Petroleum Industry Bill 2021 into law. Working from home in 5 days quarantine as required by the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 after returning from London last Friday. The President assented to the bill this Monday in his determination to fulfill his constitutional duty. A ceremonial part of the new legislation will be done on Wednesday after the days of mandatory isolation would have been fulfilled. A statement from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, indicates that the Petroleum Industry Acts provide legal, governance, regulatory, and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host communities, and related matters. The Senate had passed the bill on July 15, 2021, while the House of Representatives did same on July 16, thus ending a long wait since early 2000, adding another high performance for the Buhari's administration. The Cross River Pharmaceutical Factory, Calabar, is to be completed in 6 months after facing an initial setback due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which hinders expatriates from India to come into the country to finish installation works. Paul Abel reports that the professional assured of resumption of work at the factory.
Closing gaps in Nigeria's health sector is still yielding results, just as the Cross River Pharmaceutical Company Limited, one of the state government-owned factories hoping to change the narrative from a civil service to an industrialized one, is about to be up and running. With the permission of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, these experts have already commenced work with the installation process after taking delivery of the last batch of equipment.
We are going to build like a WHO GMP standard, and it will follow all norms, and here you will be able to produce tablet, liquid, capsule, eye drop, ointment, dry powder filling, ORS filling, like all these things. And hopefully this will be ready. If Corona will not disturb, it will be ready within the 6 months.
Nigerians indeed who are specialists in pharmacy, who studied pharmacy, with specialty and interest in pharmacognosy, to please come here and join us. Beyond producing the traditional generic drugs, it's our intention also to delve into innovation of our drugs that meet our needs within our means.
Although the installation process is expected to be redesigned to meet standards of the World Health Organization, WHO, it will also serve as one-stop shop for pharmaceuticals in South Nigeria. Governor Ben Ayade also paid an unscheduled visit to the Construction and Fabrication Academy of West Africa, where he encouraged them to be diligent. In Calabar, Paul Abel, Nta News.
And moving on, to ensure the provision of safe, quality, and accessible blood and blood products for transfusion to patients in the country, there is an urgent need for a uniform regulatory standards. This is the thrust of the meeting of Experts Committee on the development of the standard for blood safety development in Nigeria. Basi Ita Ikman reports.
In as much as blood is life, blood can equally be very dangerous and hazardous product to the body. Unsafe blood kills. This were the words of the National Coordinator of National Blood Transfusion Services, who also stressed the need for blood safety regulations in the country.
Is to ensure that appropriate guidelines are put in place to guide all blood establishments to ensure the provision of safe, quality and accessible blood and blood products for Nigerians.
We have provided now the document that will define the minimum below which any operator will be found liable and can face the full wrath of the law.
The expert committee consists of all national health regulatory bodies, health professional associations, and civil societies. Members of the committee share their expertise on the guidelines for the regulations.
We have seen a rise in renal transplant and dialysis, and then bone marrow transplant. So these therapies usually depend significantly on blood transfusion. We therefore need to provide guidelines for the safety and accessibility of such commodity to those that require it.
Medical practitioners, health professionals, and business entities interested in establishing blood entities were advised to ensure compliance to the guidelines. Basi Taipa, NTA News.
And moving on, the federal government on Monday commenced the administration of new vaccine, making the start of the second phase of the COVID-19 vaccination program. The second phase of the vaccination program was breathed into life after the U.S. donated over 4 million doses of the Moderna vaccine. Only about 1% of the population has been fully vaccinated so far. The flag-off ceremony held at the Federal Medical Center in Abuja was attended by the Secretary of the Government of the Federation and Chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa. And now to update COVID-19 report. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 541 new cases of coronavirus as at 15 August 2021. The statistics shows that Lagos has the highest number of 242 cases, followed by Akwa Ibom 94, Enugu and Uyo with 48 cases each. Others are Anambra 34, Rivers 19, Ogun 17, Ekiti 15, FCT 9, Kwara 7, Abia 5, Delta 2, and Niger with 1 case. The total number of the pandemic stands at 182,503, with 167,132 persons discharged, while 2,219 persons could not survive of the virus. As Cross River State strives to maintain its status as the cleanest state in Nigeria, the problem of indiscriminate waste dumping at roadsides, bus stops, and other unauthorized spots around the city of Calabar, especially with the rain at its peak, has continued to be an issue of concern due to its effects and quality on urban life. Residents of Calabar are therefore appealing for sanitation law to check these excesses to avoid improper waste disposal. Udorita reports.
Cross River State, which is known as a tourism destination, is striving to maintain its status as the cleanest state in Nigeria. To this end, daily cleaning of streets and constant refuse disposal from strategic points are routines. Although some areas within the city are clean, but some household waste have found their way back on the streets as some people dump refuse into gutters and other available spots. These residents say is capable of severely endangering public health and damaging the environment.
It affects us in a way that most of us will get disgusted by they met sight of it. And if you go down there, you can see that some of the refuse that is being dumped there is sitting up to the road, and sometimes causes traffic hold up.
What I see is that the act is not good. Dumping refuse on the roadside is not good. I think they should just, I know they have produced waste bin, but yet people are still dumping refuse on the roadside, which is not good.
Then the whole thing fall on the government. Because if government have given somebody around the refuse and they know them to control the place, so that anybody bringing the thing should put inside the bin rather than putting on the ground.
For others, establishment of environmental sanitation laws with severe punishment to offenders will help keep the city clean.
What I think government should do is that they should impose more laws on indiscriminate refuse dumping. Like, let the punishment be more severe.
So if any good patriotic citizen of the country is supposed to know what to do, because we are all educated on how to dispose our units, how we can throw things in the disposal unit. So anybody that throw it on the ground, I don't know if government can implement a task force that will be monitoring those who drop it, they pick them up.
Research shows that a clean environment is determined by the attitude of people, hence the need for all and sundry to properly dispose their waste. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
You are watching news reaching you from the studio of Nta Calabar. You can also watch this newscast from our YouTube channel at YouTube/NTA Calabar. The news continues shortly.
As news breaks from the north, south, east, and west of Nigeria, we bring it to you. News from the length and breadth of Cross River State is sent to you via this channel.
With movers and shakers in various spheres of influence talking to us, we carve a niche and showcase our experience in broadcasting, because it's NTA Calabar before others.
You can't get this anywhere else. It's only here on NTA Calabar News, showing at this times 3 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 7 p.m. every day. NTA Calabar News. Our experience counts.
Welcome back to the rest of the reports. The federal government has released a request for qualification for the concession of 4 international airports, terminals, and related services. In the document signed by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Aviation, Engineer Hassan Musa, the 4 major commercial airports, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, and Port Harcourt International Airport. Surrounding communities are intended to develop into efficient, profitable, self-sustaining commercial hubs, which create more jobs and develop local industries through a public-private partnership arrangements, PPP. The document urged the interested international parties to partner with local firms in compliance with the requirements of the federal government of Nigerian local content development policy. And now to education. Candidates who sat for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, will on 31st August know the minimum admission cutoff mark for the 2021-2022 academic session. The decision will be reached on the new minimum cutoff marks and other admission issues during a policy meeting scheduled for 31st August. This is according to a bulletin issued by the board recently. The meeting kickstarts the admission process into the nation's tertiary institution for the 2021-2022 academic session. It will be recalled that JAMB last year set 160 and above as a cutoff mark for admission into universities, 120 for polytechnics, while 100 for colleges of education. The Nigerian Governors Forum has reviewed with dismay the unwarranted and unprovoked killings of 23 and affliction of injuries of various degrees to many in Gadabio area of Jos North local government area of Plateau States. A statement by the forum described the act as barbaric and senseless, which is capable of diminishing the relative peace enjoyed and exacerbate tension. The forum calls on the security agents to fish out perpetrators of the dastardly act and bring them to justice, as no one has the right to take the life of another, no matter the level of anger. Also, police have confirmed an attack by armed bandits on the College of Agriculture and Animal Science, Bakura, Zamfara State. A statement issued by the spokesman of the Zamfara State Police Command, SP Shehu Mohammed, says the bandits who attacked the college at about midnight on Sunday with the intent to abduct a large number of students and staff were heavily confronted by the tactical police operatives who swiftly responded to a distressed call. The statement, however, says a police inspector and 2 other civilian guards lost their lives during the attack, while 15 students and 4 staffs were abducted by the bandits. According to the statement, the police operatives, while on Operation Bush armed at the surrounding areas, have rescued 3 of the kidnapped staff. Meanwhile, Zamfara State Commissioner of Police, Ayabu Al-Kana, has visited the scene of the incidents and had emergency meeting with some stakeholders where he assured them of the police collaboration with other security agencies and deploying various search and rescue strategy in order to rescue saved some other abducted students and staff of the college. The attack is coming barely 1 month after the suspected bandits kidnapped the provost of the college, Habubu Mensara, who regained freedom after he spent 4 days in captivity. The death of a loved one after several years of his or her demise still lives in minds of those whom the person left behind. This form of thought evokes memory of the deceased, and to keep such memories alive is the reason for the family of the late Esinjo Asikpo Edet is organizing a Thanksgiving after 10 years of departing the earth. I read them reports that the posthumous anniversary and Thanksgiving service of a father, husband, grandfather was held at the Church of Immaculate Conception, Nta Calabar.
It was a great moment for the family and friends of late Esinjo Lawrence Asikpo Edet as they came together to share memories of the deceased and celebrate a life well spent. The parish priest, Reverend Father Gabriel Bulem, who highlighted the need to thank God, charged the family of the deceased to remain in unity and always show love to one another.
In thanking God, you need to also go back as a family, you need to go back as a people and sit and ask yourself some pertinent questions. During these 10 years, where have we failed? Where have we derailed? Have we lived or led a life of emulation? And if yes, you look for means to make it better.
There were prayer for the bereaved family.
Thank you for giving the grace to work stronger and also the initiatives we appreciate with you. We thank you for every one of us who have come out to say thank you to those who lives your name with and on behalf of them. I pray, Almighty Lord, that let these prayers, O Lord, and this thanksgiving yield fruits in their lives. Everyone gathered here, and help us allow your sweetness all the days of their lives. May our prayers surprise our Lord.
Relations, family members, and well-wishers eulogized the uniqueness of the disease and reflected on the fond memories.
I cannot count so many good times. I really missed him. I really missed him. It's not the same. Can never be the same.
My father was wonderful. He was loving. He was caring. He brought us up together and then left a lasting message of peace, unity in our family.
Everybody who knew my dad knew he was a very peaceful man.
As a grandchild, I could remember those days. He would tell us, you have to be focused in life.
A man who upheld the truth at all times. Though he
brother was a legend.
We should still remember as one family.
We used to have an organization, which he headed for so many years successfully, and he executed so many projects under him. We love him. He was a father to us.
To keep the memory going, the grave was decorated with wreaths.
May you continue to grant him eternal rest. Forgive whatever sins he may have committed while on earth. Make our prayers to Christ. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
In Calabar, Arut Ndem, NTA News.
And now to sport update. Let's join our sport date with Amazi Marcos.
Hosts Sokoto emerged overall winners of the National Junior Handball Championship decided at the Giginya Memorial Sports Center in Sokoto. In the under-12 boys category, Kaduna beat Sokoto 24-23 goals to win, but placed first in the under-12 girls class ahead of Boko in Benue State and Plateau State. Kebbi lost to Sokoto 14-34 goals in the finals of the under-15 boys, where Adamawa placed third. Sokoto's dominance extended to the under-15 girls category as they were victorious over Abia State 19-14, with Kaduna emerging third in the competition, organized by the Handball Federation of Nigeria and sponsored by the Sokoto State government. The chairman FCTFA Mukhtar Adam Mohammed has promised to provide adequate training for FCT coaches as a way of improving the standard of football in the country. He was speaking when the coaches visited him.
For you to be a sound coach and to be reckoned with, you need to go and obtain the requisite qualification.
Now it will be more ideal for you to do the work and you to be fair. And then when we need any coaches, we'll come through you.
Meanwhile, world number 2 Daniil Medvedev of Russia continued his preparation for the US Open with a 6-4, 6-3 triumph over the American Riley Opelka in the Canadian Open final in Toronto. He earned his 12th ATP title in 1 hour 25 minutes. In a related development, 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer is out of the US Open, which begins on August 30 because he needs another knee surgery on the knee he injured again during the grass court season. The 40-year-old Swiss tennis great, speaking on Instagram, revealed he will be sidelined for many months as he fights to recover and resume his glittering career. With Sports Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
To end the news, a recap of the top stories. The President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the Petroleum Industry Bill 2021 into law. With the permission of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, the installation work to complete Cross River Pharmaceutical Factory is in top shape. You also heard in the news that Calabar residents have appealed for the enactment of sanitation laws to inhibit indiscriminate dumping of refuse into drains just as the rainy season approaches its peak. That's the news. Thanks for watching. Good night.